Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dale Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I'm now joined by 2015 NFL Draft prospect, quarterback out of Colorado State, Pueblo, Chris Bonner. As always, Chris, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show. Hope everything's going well. First things first, congratulations on winning the NCAA Division II National Championship. We'll definitely get into that in just a moment. But for those who don't know, you've had an interesting journey to get to where you're at today. You're actually from California. You started your college football career at the JUCO level at Grossmont College, and then you decided to transfer to CSU-Pueblo, where, of course, you spent the last 2 years playing quarterback at a very high level for the Thunderwolves. Is it crazy to think that you're now getting ready for the NFL draft?
It's really unbelievable, man. I'm just trying to soak it all in. I'm just out here, I'm out in Denver just training hard and giving it everything I got because, these opportunities don't come around too often, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Now, after spending 2 years at Grossmont College, you decided to attend Colorado State Pueblo and play for the Thunderwolves. I'll just start off by asking you, why did you feel that CSU Pueblo was the place that you'd find the most success at?
I just did some research on a few schools, and, I wanted to go into a place where I could play, and they had just lost their senior quarterback, so I saw it as an opportunity to come in and start and compete for that job. So, they had two really good seasons before I got there, and so I just saw it as a good program that was on the rise, and I wanted to be a part of it.
A nice young program. I believe this past season was only the 7th year of the football team's existence. So right away, you were able to make an impact. Your first year at CSU Pueblo, you threw for over 3,400 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions. Certainly a nice ratio. As a team, the Thunderwolves went undefeated in the regular season, but fell to Grand Valley State in the second round of the D2 playoffs. Can you just tell us what it was like to make that transition to playing with a new team, how your teammates welcomed you in, and, of course, how you were able to have the success that you ended up having that first year of yours there?
I got there in the springtime, so, I had the opportunity to come in and get, the chemistry down with some of the players before, fall came around. And, they greeted me with open arms. I became close with a lot of the receivers, running backs, and it was great. That first year, I came out, little nerves, being that it was my first game as against a D1 AA opponent. But right off the bat, we got that win, and I was comfortable from there out, and just leading the team and getting it done. And then obviously we lost that round in the playoffs, and but I think that was kind of the fuel that got us going for the next year.
And what would you say is the biggest difference between playing at the JUCO level and, of course, playing at the D2 level?
I would just say, the chemistry that teams have and the discipline. Playing at a JUCO, you got a lot of guys that are only there for 1 or 2 years at the most. At D2, you got guys that have been playing together for 3-4 years. So I think that just kind of shows out there, and these teams have a lot more stability and a lot more discipline.
And, of course, having the success that you guys had last season, what were both your individual and team expectations for this past season, knowing that it'll be your final go-around at the college level?
Yeah, we had about 15 seniors on the team, and I know every one of us' goal was that national championship. We knew that we had the team for it, and we knew if we didn't do it this year, it was our last shot. So we had to get it done, and everyone's focus and the whole season was just amazing. The work ethic was incredible, and we just held each other accountable, and we got it done.
Yeah, you guys certainly did. Once again, Chris Shanafelt talking with 2015 NFL draft prospect, quarterback out of Colorado State, Pueblo, Chris Bonner. And like you said, you guys got it done, Chris. Another very impressive season out of you as you were able to throw for over 3,200 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Of course, you guys had a stellar running game as well. Cam McDonald running for over 2,000 yards. As a team, you guys finished the regular season 10-1. That only loss coming to Fort Lewis by 1 point. And then you guys, of course, entered the playoffs as the 8th seed. Were able to defeat Angelo State, Ohio Dominican, and West Georgia in the playoffs to take on Minnesota State Mankato in the NCAA Division II National Championship game, where, of course, you guys got the 13-0 victory. Tell us what it was like to not only play in the National Championship game, but to come out victorious, and what does it mean to you personally to be a part of CSU-Pueblo's first National Championship winning team?
It was a great experience. Our team was just so focused, and we were on fire during playoffs. And I think it just showed out there that we were the better team. And the whole week being out in Kansas City was great. Got to see some good sights out there and eat some good food. And something I'll never forget. And being that Pueblo's the football team's only been back for 7 years now, it was just a huge accomplishment. I'm so proud of our entire team. We just never let go, and we just kept fighting, and it was a great experience. And celebrating in Pueblo with all the fans that were there to support us from day one, it was just amazing.
And what was going through your mind in the fourth quarter when you looked at the scoreboard and there was no more time on the clock, and that the CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves were national champs?
There's no feeling quite like it. I've never been on a team with so many great individuals, and I'm just glad that I got to do it this year with my team and my coaches and all my family and friends that were supporting me. There's just no better feelings.
I believe it was just this past weekend you guys had the celebration parade. I'm sure those Thunderwolves fans showed a lot of love. I recently spoke to your teammate Gerard Lacey, and I told him that they remind me of the Seahawks' 12th man. I mean, they do seem to show us a ton of support. How was the parade, though? What all went into the celebration?
It was fun. We have a main street down in Pueblo, the downtown area. All the fans came out, lined the streets, and we went down on the back of some trucks and just got to see all the fans. And we had a little pep rally where our head coach spoke, and I spoke, and a couple other seniors got to speak in front of all the fans and just thank them. And then after that, we kind of had a meet and greet where we did signatures and took pictures, and it was just a great way of giving back to all the fans and all the boosters and stuff that have been supporting us.
2015 NFL draft prospect, quarterback out of CSU Pueblo, Chris Bonner joining the CS podcast. And Chris, beginning at Grossmont College and now finishing up at CSU Pueblo as national champs, how would you describe your overall college football experience?
It got better every season. I learned and I grew as an individual, and I got to play with some amazing athletes that I think can play at the next level. And it was ending it with that national championship was just the way to go out, and I couldn't be happier with my decision of going to Grossmont, going to Pueblo. I think it was the best thing for me in my career.
Over the last 4 years now, whether it was at the JUCO level or the D2 level, who would you say is the best or most impressive player you've had to play against? Does anybody specific stick out?
As far as defense, playing Sam Houston this year, they had a great D just all around. West Georgia had a very impressive D-line. Last season, I played against a quarterback who's now in the playing in the NFL. He's playing on the practice squad and on some teams in the NFL. And that's Seth Lobato from UNC. He's a great competitor, and he's a guy I've got to train with his quarterback coach now. So I think Seth's a great athlete.
All right. Now, if you had to single out one, what's the biggest or most memorable play that you've made throughout your college football career?
Probably the West Georgia game. We were down 7-3. It was kind of a defensive battle the whole game, and we came out with a trick play, a little reverse pass for a touchdown, and that had to be the biggest play of my career because that's what took us into the national championship. And I don't think without that call and without that the execution that we would have been able to go to the national championship.
I was actually over at one of my buddies' house, and we were keeping an eye on that game, and it almost looked like that you guys weren't going to be able to get past West Georgia, but somehow, some way, with that play, I don't know how you guys pulled it off. You guys were able to, of course, go on to win that game, and not to discredit Minnesota State, Mankato, or anything like that, but because that was also a close game. But that West Georgia game really felt like the national championship game. Looking back at it, how's that seem to you?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That West Georgia was a very tough team, and I think Mankato was as well. But just how close it was the whole game, and that friendly final game, and just how our defenses were going at it, and that was, I think, our toughest game of my career there.
All right, yeah, definitely a defensive showdown, no doubt about that. Now, Chris, I know a few weeks ago you actually participated in the Medal of Honor Bowl, a college football all-star game. What was that experience like playing with some of the top talent in the country? I mean, you looked good out there for that, 1, 2, 3 series that you played?
Yeah, it was cool. The week of practice was the big thing there. All the NFL scouts are just lining the sidelines. It's kind of a showcase type deal, and I knew I had to come out and play tough, not think that I'm D2. I can't hang with these guys because I knew I could. So I had a great week of practice out there. Got the starting spot, and I felt real comfortable out there, and I think I just kind of proved myself really.
Yeah, I agree. Chris Shanafelt talking with 2015 NFL Draft Prospect quarterback out of Colorado State, Pueblo. Chris Bonner here on the CS Podcast. And Chris, just a few more questions before I let you go. As always, I do appreciate your time. What do you feel is your biggest strength as a quarterback?
I think just being able to, sit in the pocket and make big throws. I have good footwork as well. I think just the pocket presence and, being able to lead the team out there. Whether it's making checks or just getting guys doing the right thing, just all-out leadership, really. And
is there a weakness in your game? Is there anything specific you'll be taking some time to improve on during the off season?
Yeah, being 6'7", sometimes it's hard to get my feet going. So that's what I've been working on this whole off season, just footwork, getting outside the pocket, and being able to execute and make throws out there as well.
All right, now let's say there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want quarterback Chris Bonner out of CSU-Pueblo a part of his team?
I think I have a ton of potential still. I've been growing as a player since high school, and I think I still have so much room for improvement. I think, I've been able to win at the D2 level. I think, coming in, I'll be able to compete with these guys and really be able to lead a team to some victories.
Now, I guess this kind of relates to the very first question I asked you, but has it sunk in yet that you've played in your final college football game and that the next time you play will be in the pros?
It hasn't quite sunk in yet. It's kind of hard to see all my friends back in Pueblo, getting in training and practicing stuff. But, I think, I'll always have a home there, but be able to go by and see all the guys play, and I'm really excited to be moving on to this next level.
Now, of course, the NFL draft is just a few months away. It's actually going to be here in Chicago. What's next for you? I know you mentioned you're working with Seth Lobato's quarterback coach. Are you going to be going to any regional combines? I mean, can you just tell us where you're at as of right now?
Yeah, I'm training up at this place called 6 Strength in Denver with Matt McChesney, and my quarterback coach is Warren McCarty. Both Denver residents, and I'll be training here. Hopefully, go to get a combine invite here soon. I know they're still sending some out, and then I may be able to do a pro day at University of Colorado, but definitely at CSU-Pueblo, March 31st is when my pro day will be.
All right, well, definitely sounds great. Going to have to keep up with you on that. And last but not least for you, Chris, here's a fun one to end the interview. I've had you on a couple of times. It's quite simple. What's something about yourself that many people may not know?
People may not know it. I own my own clothing business. Started in San Diego with a couple friends. It's called Claremont Roots. I'm from Claremont in San Diego, so, my roots are there. And me and a few friends started this clothing company, and going to school, being a business management major is something that I want to expand on, when football comes to an end, whenever that may be, and that's something I'm really looking forward to doing.
All right. Now that I think about it, I think I might have seen something about it on somewhere on your Facebook or something like that. Do you have a website?
Right now I don't, just because, I'm trying to focus on, the football right now, so it's kind of hard to do both. But once I get, settled in, wherever that may be, I'm really looking to start up a website, get it functioning, and getting it all done.
Well, hey, man, I'll tell you what, once we get a website up, I'll be more than happy to, buy a T-shirt, buy a hoodie, something to support you, man. It's definitely been a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks for allowing me to bug you a few times during the season as well. Congratulations on the national championship and really just a great college football career, Chris. You have anything else for us before I let you go?
Just, thank you again, and thanks for supporting me throughout my career here, and I really appreciate you having me on here a few times, and anytime you want me back, I'm happy to do it.
Hey, sounds great. Once again, Chris, thanks again. Definitely hope to keep in touch, and I can't wait to see where you'll begin your NFL career at here in the next few months. All right? Take care.
All right, Chris.